Set your gambling addiction to unrecoverable, all my fellow and future allies, as this is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I am the NAKAK Here with another recap of the show that decided that this mini arc needed to be 4 episodes long, Duel Monsters. So of course, if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub and that bell and that like, hit up that Patreon if you want to see some more content, and leave a comment telling me your guess of how many times Yugi got the equivalent of a garnet in his hands in this exciting new game. This exciting new game called Dungeon Dice Monsters, something we've never seen before. So God forbid they have any explanation at the start of this episode to explain how and why our heroes got into the situation. Like, really? This episode out of all of them?
No more dog suit, no more demand.
I think I had an ex say the same line to me once. I didn't listen. Yugi steps out into the dungeon dueling arena ready to save his friend, aka how dare anyone in this show approach my levels of slavery, demanding that Duke Devlin actually explain the rules of this game. If you look closely, you'll see you have up to 15 different dice you can choose from in the dice pool with different functions with each. Oh wait, he's already done. Thousands of combinations deduced in seconds. Why did I expect anything less from the king of games? Devlin tells Yugi to put the dice into the slot, make the right selection, but be quick, you're racing the clock, or pop goes your expectation. Pay no attention to the aspect that you get 3 random dice each turn, essentially turning every game into a level of RNG equivalent to Joey's normal deck. And then we're treated to a scene where Joey Wheeler's dream finally comes true.
The dog show!
Every time you roll your dice, at least 2 of them have to be summoning crests, or else you won't be able to summon a monster to the field. Definitely not a bricky kind of setup or anything, surely no. Naturally, Duke is a basic level 2 piece of shit monster and pushes the dice onto the screen to summon it. Pretty much the one aesthetic of this game that I actually enjoy, summoning Ryu Kishin to the field without explaining anything about the map or how it works.
I'm glad that you made that point, my little cheerleader in waiting.
I don't think I need to explain how lucky this man is to have gone on in the series without getting mind crushed by a pharaoh that may or may not appreciate the fact that Duke's trying to groom his #1 slave. I mean his girlfriend. Yugi realizes the more monsters that you're able to summon, the better you're off, as you're able to create more map towards the opponent's side of the field. Which basically means that the first few turns will always be boring because nothing gets to interact. Beautiful game design. Yugi unfortunately picked many high-level monsters in his dice pool, which I guess is a mistake that can happen when you take less than 3 seconds to decide your entire strategy. This makes it difficult for him to land a summon, as each crest has less chances for that monster to be rolled. A concept that is very foreign to a man who's pretty much just used to slapping down high powerful monsters without any cost whatsoever. It's Devlin's turn, and he summons another crappy monster, which is literally just some red guy stuck in a chest, extending his map towards Yugi's hard points on his side of the field. Oh, by the way, another rule, you can save up your crests in a backup and then use them later on when you need to. You know, God forbid I take your title as King of Games in a game that you've never played and I invented. This very exciting duel continues on as Yugi rolls and gets nothing. Duke rolls again and he gets the Gator Dragon. Yugi rolls again and he gets 2 summoning crests, but they're not the same level, so he gets nothing. Very exciting gameplay. Duke then starts talking shit about Yugi's recent failure with those 2 college chicks he met at the club last weekend.
They were too hot for you to handle, but let's see how I can do.
It's Devlin's turn once again, and he summons another random Zelda chest to the field. But this one's a level 4 item summon. What's that? Don't ask questions. Yugi rolls and misses for the 5th time because this is such a fun game, oh my god, haven't you heard? Allowing Devlin to roll yet another monster, the 13th grave, almost completing his path to Yugi's side of the field, leaving him open to an attack. It's only 6 turns in and Yugi realizes he's gonna have to transfer his Heart of the Cheater to these dice or defeat is assured. Finally rolling 2 level 3 summoning crests and bringing the Mighty Mage to the field, because of course his first monster is a great value version of Dark Magician.
Ha! Not a summon crest.
How the fuck did he see that dice? They're like 30 feet away, sitting in a pod, and just... There's no way he saw it. Yugi moves his Mighty Mage forward and destroys the 13th grave, getting praise from everyone after finally being able to do something after only 6 turns. But it's back to Devlin already, and of course he gets another monster because the boss of the arc has to have minions scattered everywhere. This time it's the Blast Lizard, a monster with a very special ability. Oh, what's that special ability? Don't ask questions. It's Yugi's turn and he finally gets some low-level summoning crests and he gets to bring out a brand new monster. Can you guess what it'll be? Yup, it's the Wingardium Fortress Dragon of the Dragon. And here I thought it'd actually be a new monster.
Boy, are you dense!
Hey! Shut up! Mr. Devlin's turn comes back around and he plans on using the special ability of his Blast Lizard. A potent ability that only takes 4 frickin' magic crests to use that allows him to destroy a monster with a projectile attack that's maybe 3 spaces away anyway. I know the Wingardium is already dead now, but am I the only one who just thinks all of that really wasn't worth it? Oh look, it's Yugi's turn and he rolls nothing again. I believe that's only 6 out of 8 breaks during this duel. I just love this game. Summoning a level 3 monster this time, Devlin brings out the level 3 Dark Assailant to the field before moving the Blast Lizard and the Gator Dragon close to Yugi's heart point. We then spend about the next 3 minutes listening to the Duke monologue about how he has a super huge boner for Pegasus and everything has gone wrong only because of Yugi.
But I'm not, and it's all because of your cheating ways.
I mean, I'm not saying I agree with his line of causality here, but as far as the cheating goes, Oh god, you have no idea. Devlin claims that he should already be the second best game maker in the entire world. That he spent his entire life, aka maybe a few weeks, working on Dungeon Dice Monsters before sending it off to a local billionaire named Pegasus that he somehow has the private email of.
Email for Devlin Boy. Email for Devlin Boy.
Do not open that email. Unfortunately, Dookie Boy did not listen to the warning signs, being instantly shipped out to Duelist Kingdom for a special visit, as Pegasus challenges and defeats him at his own game. Devlin can't believe that he won. Pegasus can't believe how similar it is to Duel Monsters, offering to fund the project after this little tournament soul-stealing thing he has to take care of. Devlin gets it. Unfortunately for him, after his defeat by Yugi, Pegasus seems to have ghosted Duke completely, and no one ghosts Duke Devlin.
I've never cheated at anything in my entire life.
Despite the fact that he just told the absolute biggest lie of his life, Yugi was not lying when he said Duke has no idea what kind of man Pegasus really was. You know Pegasus, the epitome of manliness in Duke's eyes, which may explain a thing or two about his wardrobe choice. Said that there's no way that Yugi defeated him without being a fraud and he must be exposed. Channeling the heart of the cheater, once again getting 2 level 3 summoning crests, Yugi summons Big Bomemon to the field. A monster with an apparent special ability that Duke is sure Yugi won't know how to use, even though I'm pretty sure it's just the same magic crest mechanic that he used earlier. Duke then reveals his place of origin by threatening Yugi in the same manner as a casual resident of southern Florida.
My gator is poised to take your heart.
The episode ends with Yugi following his contract, looking super scared at the new antagonist that he's fighting at the end of Act 1. Duke follows his contract by looking monstrous and laughing like Mark Hamill as the to be continued credits roll. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget that sub and that bell and that like, hit up that Patreon, and leave a comment telling me if you would open up an email sent by Pegasus that had a dancing rabbit on it saying your name over and over. Tune in next week where Yugi actually summons a few monsters and does a few moves. Exciting, isn't it? And of course, a shout out to all my patrons. I'm only 3 days away from being out of quarantine, so I promise you, you'll all get your one-on-one spooning time with me very soon. This has been Man from Earth with all the girth, ladies and gentlemen. Be the character you know you're worth. See you Monday. It's only been 6 turns, but Yugi finally realized... Oh god, that was bad. AKA, how dare anyone approach... AKA... I don't think I need to explain how lucky this man at... Mayonnaise. Duke rolls again and gets the Gator Dragon. Before moving the Blast Lizard... Lizard! Duke follows his contract by looking monstrous and laughing like Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill? Really?